Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for November 2024 for each life path number to see how the energies of November could influence you. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general reading. If you would like your own personal reading, your own personal numerology reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I would love to work with you and take a closer look. Also, if you book a year ahead forecast or any reading that has the year ahead forecast included in it, you'll get your year ahead forecast for the rest of 2024 and all of 2025. So this is a great time to book your year ahead forecast if you haven't done so yet. So if you want to do that, you can book some time with me. Again, my information is in the description box below. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these life path numbers for November. Life path number 1, you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 22, so 202 for November, and also chipmunk energy. I'm excited to talk about chipmunk, but first let's talk about the numerology. So this can bring in the need for sudden decisions, kind of like something coming in and you having to make a decision on the spot type of thing. And you're really going to have to, go within and see how you feel about it, pay attention to the information that's being presented to you, do as much due diligence as you can. But this is kind of quick energy that's requiring some kind of a decision. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a quick event comes in or an unexpected event comes in, although there is, the very strong possibility of that. It could be something where you've been kind of sitting at a crossroads for a little while, and now it's like, it's go time. Like it's time to make a decision, whatever, in whichever direction you feel called to move toward. And as it so happens with any kind of crossroads that we find ourselves at, and anytime we have to make some kind of a decision, once we make that decision, that creates some kind of turning point within our life. And some kind of changes usually come around that circumstance, right? So it's very likely that, again, this period is asking for decisions to be made in some area of your life where a decision has to be made. And again, if it's not something that you know about, it's likely going to be some kind of event that comes in unexpected that will require you to make a decision. And upon making that decision, you could see things start to shift. You could see that turning point come in. And for some of you, this could be quite significant. It could be something where, you make a decision to take a new job and that new job is requiring you to move, or, you make a decision to start your own business. And so you're tying up the loose ends of, being able to do that, being able to move into that, unrestricted. There's just so much that, any area that it needs to come in is where it's going to come in for you. But the goal of this energy and this month is to, those areas where you've been kind of, weighing your pros and cons, or kind of hem and hawing and not knowing what to do and feeling like, frustrated because you don't know what to do. This energy is going to remind you that you do know what to do. And all you need to do is come back to yourself, to your inner compass. And again, pay attention to the information that's being presented to you, couple the two, and then make the best decision for you in this moment that moves you in the direction that you want to be moving towards. So it could be that the two deciding factors, right? The two options are both have very similar pros or cons, and it's hard to make that decision. But you will know which one is best for you in that moment, that best serves you and your family or your experience at this time. And that's the one you go with. And you will be able to face whatever comes up for you around making that decision as it comes up for you. So don't give so much power to the future that you forget about your power in the present, right? So you making a decision, whatever that decision may be, you know that it's going to be the best decision for you. Will there be consequences of that decision? Yes, of course, there always are, good and uncomfortable. But you will find your way through those experiences, right? So take the pressure, take the weight off, even though it might be a big decision that you have to make and a very big life-altering decision that you have to make. Take the pressure off of having to know every single step, every single detail of the how and the why, of how you're going to get there and what it's going to look like, because you don't need that much pressure on yourself. You're in this present moment. Make the decision that best serves you in this moment, that will move you in the direction that you want to be moving towards. And then trust yourself in that process, no matter what comes of that decision, because you'll be able to handle it. I would also say that some kind of shift or movement is needed in some area, and your decision will create that shift or that movement. And it might be that that's the part that you fear, and that's what's been holding you back. And I would say, throw that to the wind. Let go and let God, so to speak. Control what you can control, and that is the decision. You control the decision. You get to decide. Control what you can control and release what you can't. Channel any frustration, anxiety, restlessness that you might be feeling into something constructive now. Don't let it eat you up. Don't let it wear you down. Don't let it, eat at your energy. Channel it into something productive, something constructive, even if it's just a strategy or a plan, right? Make your decision and then start formulating your plan or your strategy. Do not resist the need for change under this vibration, because it's only going to make the journey very, very uncomfortable, and you're going to start to feel restless and that anxiety, because this decision, whatever this decision may be, needs to be made. And you're sitting in the driver's seat. You're always in the driver's seat. You're the one that has to make the decision. And, just as we all do in our own lives. So this is sort of that moment of glory. Make the decision and then stick to it, and, trust yourself in that process. What I think is really interesting, because you're also working with chipmunk energy, is when I think of chipmunk, I think about like success energy. And the reason for that is because chipmunks use, their strengths to get the goods, to be successful. And what I'm sort of referring to here is like, here in Colorado, there's a lot of chipmunks, especially in the national parks. And you're not supposed to feed them for good reason, right? Because they're wild animals, and, they can't rely on humans to provide their sustenance. They have to be able to forage and find it themselves. But the chipmunks are real cute, and they're going to use that cuteness. And I think they know how cute they are. I'm telling you, if you've ever seen one, they know. And so they use that cuteness to persuade you to just give them whatever you're eating. Just give them a little bite. Just give them a little something. I mean, they will literally sit there and put on the cutest face you've ever seen, and the little pleading with their little hands, begging for food. And it takes a lot of willpower to not give in to these little creatures. But to do so, to give in, would be harming them in the long run. So anyway, my point is, they know what they've got to work with, and they use it. And so I would say do the same this month for you. You know what you're working with. You know where your strengths are. You know where your weaknesses are. You know the direction you want to be moving in for the most part. So use that to your advantage. And when it comes to anything you have to commit to, that you have to sort of stand up and stand out with, focus on your strengths. Focus on what you are good at. And this will be a month where I think you can get a lot of momentum. You can shine. You can really see a lot of rewards come in from that. But there will be this shift in wind, right? Like these changes that will likely be necessary. And what I mean by chipmunk energy is, when I say about strengths, pull from those strengths. Remind yourself of you've got this. You can handle whatever life throws at you, right? As long as the decisions that you're making feel aligned for you, then no matter what comes up on your path with those decisions, you'll be able to handle. Big month ones. I hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now.